So Birmingham in white, defending the goal to our left, and if Chelsea's current form is anything to be going by, there'll be a fair bit of defending for them to do this afternoon, today rather. Chelsea in yellow, Osgood trying to get Houseman away, and Beard tidying up for Birmingham. Malcolm Beard, the Birmingham captain. And Beard again. Birmingham, who've lost their last 4 games and conceded 15 goals in doing so. Hockey, they're doing some work in midfield for them, formerly a winger. And now Hollins, Osgood. Top scorer for Chelsea with 14, playing it off there for Hudson. And a throw to Birmingham, who beat Chelsea in the Cup 2 years ago in the 6th round up at St Andrews by 1-0. Jeff Bowden. And Dempsey back to Peter Bonetti. McCready. A long and a searching ball to send the hustling Hutchinson away until Page comes in with a very timely interception for Birmingham. Chelsea's throw. Hutchinson, the man with a long throw. And he's waited for Webb and Dempsey both to come up in the box, and in fact Webb is on the goal line. And Webb getting his head to it. Osgood just failing to get his foot to it properly, but Webb's still up. And all that havoc caused by that long throw from Ian Hutchinson. Thompson bringing it away, the number 3 for Birmingham. Robinson. And Vincent not quite able to get to it before Webb. And Chelsea's throw. Hutchinson again. Hudson. And finding Hutchinson again, and now Hollins. Plenty of people available there for Chelsea. It's Harris getting into a little bit of trouble there, but pugnaciously finding his way out of it. And now Alan Hudson. And Jeff Bowden coming back to do a good job of work in his own penalty area for Birmingham City. Vincent also right back there. Thompson. That route was cut off by Osgood. It could have been very, very chancy indeed. Hudson. And Osgood well offside, coming back, trotting back into an onside position, but Gordon Hill, the referee, determining that the game should be kept flowing. And of course Gordon Hill is one of the finest referees in the country, well respected by all the players. There's Gordon Hill, 41-year-old headmaster from Leicester. Free kick to Birmingham, Vincent with it. Bowden inside very nicely there for Page, still Bowden, taking a little too long. And a flick on there, almost getting it through to Hateley. Murray, looking for Hateley again, looking for Murray again. And Chelsea finally getting it away. Osgood. Robinson. Thompson. Bowden, who's changed shirts with Hockey. Bowden wearing the number 10, Hockey the number 8. And Murray giving McCready a moment of trouble there. And McCready looking very much like handball, but play on, says the referee. And McCready was well inside that penalty area as well, the number 3, put under pressure by his former Chelsea teammate Bert Murray. Throw to Chelsea, Eddie McCready. Hutchinson letting his arms fly into the face of Page as he went for that one. Legitimate rough and tumble, I suppose we can call it, but it's a throw then to Birmingham. Page, who's been watching Hutchinson closely, to Jim Herriot. Webb finding Cook. Dempsey. Good throw there from Bonetti to Hollins. Hollins dwelling on it just a little too long, though. Hutchinson and Birmingham probably recognising that they're not quite in the same street as Chelsea so far as skill, are sure to go with great determination and speed for all their tackles. And here's Cook. Houseman. Back to Webb, looking for the opening all the time. And Herriot preventing that ball from going for a corner. Trevor Hockey. Now it's Hudson, slipping it neatly for Harris. McCready. Hollins well up with him. Still McCready. Good hurdling there by McCready. And again, an indication of how quickly Birmingham are going to pounce on anybody who holds the ball just a little too long. 3 men converging on McCready when he held a moment too long. Hockey to Vincent. Birmingham's ball. I'm quite sure that Chelsea are too professional to underestimate Birmingham, and Birmingham have shown already by the speed with which they've attacked them. And although Birmingham are halfway down the second division, that they've still got to be recognised as a cup-fighting side. Houseman flicking it on for Osman. Watched very closely by Robinson, but still Osgood getting it across and nobody there to leap and finish it off. I'm quite sure that Chelsea manager Dave Sexton up in his crow's nest on the left there has told Chelsea by no means underestimate this Birmingham side. Bert Murray, top scorer for Birmingham, with 10 to Vowden. Murray looking for it and getting it, and looking for Vincent to flick it on for Hakely. Dempsey and Bonetti coming out, and there was no margin for error there at all. Hutchinson to Hollins. Cook. David Webb, who scored twice here recently against Manchester City, but there's one now to test this Birmingham defence's jumping ability. Robinson finally getting it away with his foot. McCready. Straight to Malcolm Beard. Beard in turn finding Hockey. Had many good seasons, of course, with Nottingham Forest and Newcastle Hockey as a winger, and now really finding his feet again in midfield for Birmingham. This is Thompson. Hockey again. And Harris getting in before Murray. Straight to Hudson. Hudson now to Cook, finding his way on the left wing. A little one towards the near post to flick on. Osgood! No! Osgood! No! Well, it couldn't come closer than that. A beautiful run to the near post, though, by Hutchinson. And a back-flicked header there for Osgood. There's Hutchinson, number 10, who really laid that on for Peter Osgood. And of course it's Cook who's going to take the corner now, who set it all up in the first place. And in fact the Birmingham trainer on the field, Herriot, in stopping that second shot, must have got a bit of a knock there on the left leg. Well, certainly for the Chelsea crowd, there's been plenty to cheer in these opening minutes. All right again, and here's Cook with the corner. Hollins finding Houseman. A little chip there for Osgood to run, but Herriot spotting it well. Hateley, almost the first use of that famous forehead. And now Vincent. Hateley's gone storming into the middle, but that's his Webb cutting it out. And then Hockey getting it to Vincent. Hockey. And a very good tackle by Webb. Puts it on now for Osgood. Leaving it for Cook. Houseman. Curling one towards Hutchinson. Almost getting it through again to Osgood. Still not away. Robinson is held up well. And now Burt Murray. Well, there's certainly been alarms in that Birmingham defence already, but they show no signs, for all that pressure, of being too overawed by the opposition facing them. Houseman now, Hutchinson. And Hutchinson beaten by Page, who really is job obviously is to keep a close watch on Hutchinson. Now this means another long throw from Ian Hutchinson. And he's waiting again for Webb and Dempsey to come into that penalty area. There's Webb going onto that goal line again, that Birmingham goal line. And Dempsey is now in the 6-yard box. Hutchinson. And what a long throw there. Webb almost getting to it, but getting a corner. No, not getting a corner. There must have been a foul then by Webb on Hateley. Herriot asking where he should take it. In fact, he's stolen 2 or 3 yards from where Webb and Hateley clashed. But a free kick to Birmingham then. McCready. Neat play. And a neat little back flick there for Harris following up. Houseman losing it, but luckily for him that he did, because McCready can pounce on it. And another Chelsea throw. And that means obviously another Hutchinson throw. And another advance into that penalty area by Webb and Dempsey. There's Webb again on that goal line. Hateley's come right back with him. What a tremendous throw again. But now Hockey. A chance for a Birmingham counter-attack here, but only Vincent up. Here's Vincent. Murray, not quite getting to it. A nice little flick pass on the outside of the boot by Vincent, though. Murray to Vincent. Hateley. And now Cook. Alan Hudson to Peter Osgood. Back to John Hollins. And Hutchinson going in low for the goal kick. Ian Hutchinson, the number 10. Discovered very late, of course. He was past the age of 20 when Chelsea picked him up from Cambridge United in the Southern League. McCready getting in there before Murray. And Osgood with his foot well up there. That really should have been penalised by referee Hill. Dempsey getting up well. Murray, tricking Hollins, finding his skipper Beard. In turn it's Thompson. Beard again, a nice 1-2 here from Birmingham. Now Hateley, can he climb to this one? He does. And Harris indeed was in a fair bit of trouble with Boughton getting in behind him. And it's a corner to Birmingham. And Stan Cullis was saying before this game that Hateley coming back to Chelsea, here's Hateley, it really is a test of this man's character to show Chelsea just what he can still do. Robinson, the number 5 for Birmingham, on that Chelsea goal line. And Bonetti not really getting to it either. Hutchinson cleverly holding that ball until he got support, and now Cook slicing through that defence to find Houseman. Cook again. It's one of the great sights to see Cook attacking a defence. Hudson. Cook once more. He's got Hudson available. Still Cook. Chelsea's throw. And Hutchinson again. Every throw of these, of course, worth a corner. But this time it's gone to McCready. Osgood trying to flick it on there for Dempsey, who'd stayed up. And Thompson getting his boot to it. Hollins. Thompson again. And Webb going in there to make sure, one, that the ball didn't go back to the goalkeeper, and two, that he had every chance of getting it himself, a goal kick. That really was wholehearted play by David Webb. McCready. Hately to Bowden. Vincent. Very active forward line that Birmingham have got. Here's Bowden again to Vincent. A nice one too that he played there. Deserved to come off. And almost there. Robinson going in. Hockey trying to get it on the half volley. Just over the bar. That's twice there that Bert Murray, well inside that Chelsea penalty area, looked to cause them the most awful trouble. Here's Murray coming towards us now. Not quite getting on top of that half volley over Bonetti's bar. Could so easily have gone in. Here's Bonetti. Robinson. And a good, determined piece of full-back play by Thompson to Vincent. Murray closing in, McCready looking anxiously over his shoulder. Hockey to pump it back again, and Hately getting in. But a foul given against Birmingham. And Peter Bonetti with it. Hockey, Bowden, Harris, Hutchinson, beaten by Hockey. Hately, tremendous leap. But not exactly in the direction that Birmingham wanted. Cook. This time Dempsey beating Hately, but it's Vincent on the rebound for Birmingham. Fast one. He's got Murray on his right and Hockey too. Here's Hockey, number 8. Collins going in very vigorously indeed from behind, but in fact it must have been a retaliation as well. Quick free kick. Hudson away for Chelsea. Osgood. And now to Hollins. Nobody there, but put straight back into trouble again by Thompson. Hollins. And Hutchinson getting up well. Overhead kick! Just a little bar! And that couldn't have been so far from being over the line. From Hutchinson. That really surprised Herriot, no doubt about that. Almost caught him out as well. McCready. To Houseman. Again to the near post. Just over. From Hutchinson. Beautiful little cross again, though, by Houseman. And Hutchinson, who bravely got in low. He really does go hard for those balls at the near post, and bravely too, which is what it's all about. "20 minutes gone, no score." Jeff Bowden setting Haitley off, and Dempsey following him all the way. Haitley trying to come away from Dempsey. Thompson now looking for Vincent. Webb up well, and Cook beating Thompson. Just 2 men up for him to aim for. 3 now that Hollins is up there. And a misunderstanding there between Osgood and Hollins. So Haitley finds Hockey. Bobby Thompson. Hockey. And McCready away. To Hudson. And Cook going without the ball. Vincent. It's opening up a bit for them. Bowden at the far side, but not curled back quite enough by John Vincent. Vincent, of course, who played so well against Queen's Park Rangers last week, a former England youth international. Foul given against Page on Hutchinson. A little nudge in the back as they went for that one. David Webb to take the free kick for Chelsea. Osgood getting in well with his head. Good following up there by Martin for Birmingham. Now Harris to McCready. Every Birmingham defender back now, bar Haitley. Or every Birmingham player, rather. Hollins, who can hammer them. Vincent to bring it away. 1 man to aim for, that's Haitley. And Haitley controlled that well. Oh! A really clumsy tackle there by McCready on Haitley. And a good piece of refereeing by Gordon Hill. A quiet word made his intentions clear to Eddie McCready without making a great fuss of it. And Malcolm Beard with a free kick for Birmingham. Dempsey beating Haitley. Hockey going in, Bowden still there. Beard. Oh, Webb flicking it back to Bonetti. I wonder if he knew that Haitley was behind him. McCready back to Bonetti. Webb. Osgood coming away from Robinson. Hollins. Chased by Bowden, but good determined piece of play by Hollins. Hutchinson, surrounded by white shirts, finds Hudson. And now Osgood going in again, but he couldn't quite leap enough. Osgood, who can be so devastating in the air. Now it's Malcolm Beard for Birmingham City. Murray, trying to play it inside the full-back, was speared, a little too ambitious. And now Charlie Cook. Well, that was the irritating Charlie Cook for all Chelsea fans. So it's Birmingham's throw. Hockey doing well to find Murray. Now it's McCready to Osgood. Osgood taking one in the face, I think, from Hateley, accidentally. It's Bowden to Hateley now. The sun really shining brightly now as Thompson finds Vincent for Birmingham. Chipped in very neatly there to Hockey. Hateley trying to flick it off to Vincent, but finding touch instead. Hollins with the throw. Houseman taking it down with his hand. Peter Houseman, for so long underrated, but this afternoon already he's shown with some lovely delicate little flicks to the near post that he can be a very, very dangerous winger indeed. McCready. Osgood, watched all the way by Robinson, but now it's Hudson for Chelsea to Cook. There wasn't too much room for him to beat Thompson there, but he found enough, and that 1-2 not quite coming off with Hudson, because Cook would have been free. Instead it's Bowden. Bowden pulled down by Hudson. Free kick to Birmingham. Beard. McCready. Cook. Hudson. A little lucky there, losing his balance to find Cook. Houseman popping up surprisingly there on the right in a fairly deep position. But I wouldn't have said that Houseman made the most of that one. So it's a throw to Birmingham. McCready. Murray's challenge just a little too vigorous for the liking of Mr. Hill. McCready quickly taking it, now Hudson. Cook. Houseman, a little bit of pushing and shoving there between Houseman and Martin, but it gets Hateley away to Bowden. Now Beard. Vincent. And Webb for Chelsea. To Houseman, to McCready. Again is Peter Houseman. Has he got the speed to beat Martin? Well, there's the answer. But in fact, it does give another chance for a long throw from Ian Hutchinson. There's David Webb right in that penalty area again. Dempsey at the near post. This is going towards, for the pair of them, Webb trying to flick it back again. Dempsey! And again, all that pressure, all that punishment, all that fear and worry in the Birmingham penalty area caused by that long throw, once more from Ian Hutchinson. Osgood. A little flick through there for Hutchinson, tried to breast it down. But there's not much time for breasting the ball down in that Birmingham penalty area. Oh, right between Osgood's legs by Vincent. And what a good game Vincent is having for Birmingham. Now, McCready doing what they do at rugby, and last week, John Vincent had his name taken for doing just that. And this afternoon, there hasn't so much as been a free kick given against Eddie McCready. Well, I wonder what John Vincent feels about that. Hutchinson. McCready. And Hakeley's going for this one. Harris just a little slow to intercept that one, I would have thought. So it's Hakeley still. Harris. Osgood. Hudson. Harris again. Leaving it for Cook. A little floater. And a goal kick. Well, Harris quite wisely, the Chelsea skipper, leaving that to Cook to put one of those little floaters across. Ball isn't over the line. Thompson finding his skipper Beard. Beard in turn finding Jim Herriot. The man who was Scotland's goalkeeper in that crucial World Cup match against Germany. Trevor Hockey. And now to Murray. He's got Osgood up on his right. This is aimed towards Osgood, and not a bad ball. And Hollins really storming up on the right still. Still Osgood. And this might come through for Hollins to chip it back. And a corner. Well, that was a good burst by Osgood, and Chelsea needed it because they'd seemed to have lost the rhythm that took them so close to a goal early on in this game. Hollins. And headed away, but as far as Houseman, just over! Good shot there by Houseman, and it needed watching all the way through that crowded penalty area by Jim Herriot. Flicked it up over just at the right moment. Here comes the corner from Cook. Webb well up, but beaten by the Birmingham defence. Murray getting it away. Webb again, two number twos. Hudson with a bit of space again, and three men up ahead of him to aim for. Hollins alongside him, and holding it too long. Bert Murray. A very good first 35 minutes or so for Birmingham City. One they must be very satisfied with indeed. Here's Vincent. And now Thompson. Not quite able to keep it in though. Good cup-tie crowd. Peter Bonetti waiting now. McCready flicking it on for Hutchinson. Now Houseman. Hutchinson, I think, not very happy with the treatment he got from Page there, and neither was referee Gordon Hill, having a word with Page as he runs alongside him. Chelsea's kick, Eddie McCready with it. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Hockey well back, only as far as Cook. Hollins again to pass one back, hoping to catch Herriot out. It was a good quick thinking there by Hollins. Herriot was well out of his goal when he miscued a bit there. Herriot has been out of the side, the Birmingham side, for the last 3 games. Bowden. Now Ron Harris. Hockey. Murray. Bobby Thompson. Showing too much of that to Cook. Not too much activity around Cook to encourage him to pass it to anybody. Now he's got somebody free. McCready. And the ball falling there nicely to Hollins. Down he goes with a bit of a dive. But there's no doubt that he had a Birmingham player snapping at his feet as he went to go clear of the defence. And so a kick to Chelsea from a position that could present some sort of danger there for Birmingham. Dempsey and Webb both up. Hollins with it. And Bowden getting it away. As far as Cook. And now as far as McCready. Houseman. A rather lazy one there with the outside of his boot by Houseman. Chelsea at the moment really have got to lift their game. It's not the moment for lazy kicks with the outside of the boot. They've really got to go with a great deal more determination now at this Birmingham side. Here's Cook. Still Cook. A little flick there from Hudson. Harris. And Martin finding Haitley. And while 2 Chelsea players waited, Birmingham City were not. So it's Bowden. Hockey. And Bonnetta's ball. Hutchinson to McCready. Showing rather too much of that one, a little lucky to get away with it. Martin and Houseman having a go, and Chelsea's throw. Houseman watched very closely there by Beard. Hudson, a flick through, looking for Osgood, and he's been pretty well watched by young Robinson as well. The ball is not out, and so it's Houseman to plant it back again. Herriot getting under it, losing it, Webb with his head, Vincent away with his body, and finally Haitley with his foot. Chelsea's throw. Throw quickly taken, but too quickly taken, because Martin all the time is down in the Birmingham penalty area. Been having quite a battle with Peter Houseman down the left. Plenty of inquests going on in that Birmingham penalty area. Haitley well back there, but they've defended very determinedly indeed. With great determination, Birmingham, so far. The newsstand at Chelsea, packed to capacity, of course. And this is how Peter Burnett is seeing it. Right on the edge of his area. Well, Martin is all right again. Hollins with the throw. Hutchinson trying to flick it back again. Nobody quite getting there. So Chelsea's throw again. Houseman getting himself into trouble with few signs of being able to get out of it. So the pressure stays on Birmingham, but they've withstood it all very well so far, but except we now have Hutchinson with another of his long throws. Webb at the near post. Dempsey and Osgood waiting and hoping. All of them getting up there, and again causing a certain amount of confusion in that Birmingham penalty area. Winning a corner. Webb going in, and Hutchinson too. And for that corner kick, every Birmingham City player, bar John Vincent, the number 11, was right back in that penalty area. There they are, coming back into a rather more positive attacking attitude now. Collins to Cook, played on very nicely for Hudson. Good play by Hudson, and a nice little flick by him to Osgood. Yes, by Osgood, made for him unmistakably by Alan Hudson. Peter Osgood, goal number 15 of the season for him, and the one that Chelsea have been waiting for and hoping for so long. 3 minutes to go to half-time, and that's the scoreline. Chelsea ahead. Well, that is just the encouragement that Chelsea wanted, because Birmingham's confidence was beginning to grow a bit the longer they held out. But Martin still seems to have very much the measure of Houseman down that left touchline. McCready with the throw. Robinson claiming, I think, that the ball went off Osgood's legs and into touch, but the linesman was right there and said no. So it's another long throw. And there hasn't been a long throw by Hutchinson this afternoon that hasn't caused some sort of panic in that Birmingham penalty area. And that wasn't so far away again. It's coming through to Hutchinson again. Chance for him to pump it back. Dempsey well up there. Webb is well up there, and so too is Martin. Now Cook. A great shot over the bar there by Cook. Paisley on his chest. Hockey. Cut out by Webb. To Hollins. Cook. You can almost see Chelsea now moving with so much more belief in themselves. Cook. Very strongly and well tackled there by Hockey, though. And now Harris bursting through. Oh, and Harriott beginning to go the wrong way for it, or going too far the right way. Had to check himself in flight. Hollins. And a free kick given against Osgood, acknowledging that the referee was right. Page. Bowden to flick it on. Hollins. And Martin versus Houseman. Houseman getting the better of it. Martin going in. Feet are flying there a bit. McCready playing a neat 1-2 there with Osgood. Back to Osgood again. We're now in injury time in this first half. Cook. Webb pleading for that ball on the far side, but not getting it exactly the way that he wanted it. Challenged by Vincent, and still Webb goes on. Harris going in. Here's Webb again, showing exactly the spirit you want for a cup tie. And in spite of rolling over on the floor a couple of times, it doesn't fool referee Hill, and so it's a throw again to Chelsea. The first one Hutchinson has taken from that side. Webb at the near post. Dempsey on the goal line, causing all sorts of trouble to Herriot and defenders on that goal line. Hollins, and the whistle has gone for half-time. So Chelsea, having waited so long for a goal, go in that goal up. A goal that was scored by Peter Osgood 3 minutes before half-time, after a lot of really determined Birmingham defence. There's Osgood, the two number 9s, Osgood on the left with Haitley. Still to come on the big match programme, highlights from 2 other FA Cup ties. So the half-time score here at Stamford Bridge is Chelsea 1, Birmingham 0. More soccer action for you in just a couple of minutes.